Auctions TV. Travers Smyth is my name, auctioneer at Harcourts Cooper Co. Now there's a lot of information out there about why selling at auction is great. Today I thought I'd cover off the benefits of buying at auction. So if I look at my own stats, the last 15 auctions that I've called, 14 of those have had active bidders, 13 of those have sold, but more importantly, eight of those auctions had one bidder and 5 had 2. So right there, you being in an unconditional position means that you do get first crack at the property, shutting out the rest of the conditional market. And the fact that 86% of those properties, those last 15 that I've called, have sold, our owners are willing to transact, so you may as well make advantage of being the bidder that is there, the bidder that is buying. It is the only method in which you get to see what is unfolding in terms of the offers live in front of your eyes. You'd hate to be part of a multi-offer situation, going forward with your best offer, only to be called in a few hours' time to be told that you've missed out for maybe $5,000. Would have you wanted to pay that other 5? Maybe not, but would have you to secure the property? Most likely. So there is no risk at all of that happening live on the auction room floor. You could win the property by $1,000 if you're on the market, or you could miss out. The choice is yours. It unfolds right in front of you. The lack of favoritism is another great reason to purchase at auction. I remember when I was selling, I presented 2 offers in a multi-offer situation to our sellers. One of those offers, the lower one as it would be, which actually wound up being the eventual purchasers of the property, that one was accompanied by a very heartfelt letter which appealed to the sellers and tugged on their heartstrings. The other offer was $75,000 north of that. The owners ended up going with the lesser of the offers. If that is on the auction floor, once we've met reserve, we're on the market and selling, there's no risk of that. If you are the highest bidder, you will be the one walking away as the successful purchaser. Important to play your part as a purchaser during the auction process. Another reason why is that may not surprise you to hear that a lot of our owners, they can sit a little bit north of where market value sits. However, if you play your part as the market, if there are multiple bidders, that gets to unfold in front of their eyes. A lot easier for us to demonstrate true market value, to maybe move them from their expectations to facilitate a successful unconditional offer, hopefully to yourself. So folks, I hope that allays any fears you may have of purchasing at auction. I understand here from Bree that we've now got the Auctions TV Hotline opened up. Phone lines are ringing cold? No, hot. First caller.
Let's say I've turned up on auction day, keen to buy the property, and I'm the only bidder there. Is this a bad sign? And where should I go from there?
I find buying behaviour so interesting. Buyers tend to hate it when they're one of 10 bidders. They don't like it when they're one bidder too. I would take solace in the fact that you are the one bidder. Essentially, it is an unconditional negotiation, you against the owner having less competition. Let that play out in your favour. You are unconditional. You get your first dibs. The auctioneer will tell you where you need to be to purchase. You get to cut out those conditional buyers. For a certainty of a cash sale, more than often the owners will be willing to look at that in favour of taking a punt for a higher offer that may fall over later on.
What on earth is a vendor bid?
What on earth is a vendor bid? Great question. Great way to think of it as a not sell price. So the auctioneer may use this at their discretion below the reserve price. It can never be at, it's always got to be below the reserve price. Good way to think of this as a not sell price, bit of a roadmap, if you will, to where you need to be in order to purchase. So if you hear the term vendor bid, you're below reserve, feel free to keep on bidding.
How does someone effectively prepare to bid at auction?
Great question. How do you prepare to bid at auction? Well, I say go into it with 3 prices. One's your sort of bargain price. Oh, look, it'd be great to buy at this level. This is fair market price. Hey, look, I think I'm paying fair price. I think no one's getting ripped off. The vendor's not underselling. I'm not overpaying for it. Most important is to think of your absolute hurt price, the top figure that you're willing to pay. If you're wanting to eat Maggi noodles for dinner for the rest of your life, you're absolutely stretched, but you really want this property, that is the price that you need to go in with. There's no use having that discussion on the auction floor, especially, just a little tip here, if you are a couple in the auction room floor. If you are bidding against another couple and you see them turn to each other, have a talk when the bid's over to them, when it's their turn to bid, that usually tells you that they are at or near, or they've even surpassed their top bid. So go hard, like Trade Me, go on auto bid up to that level, and then you can safely walk away at that level knowing that you've done everything. You don't want to be breaking out the calculator and doing the sums on the auction room floor. Show strength.
I'm going to an auction this weekend, but I don't have an unconditional offering. What are my options for securing this property?
So if you haven't got an unconditional offering, I take it in regards to finance, you can still go along to the auction. There's a chance, talk to the agent, there's a chance that it may pass in. You can submit a conditional offer straight afterwards. The owner's probably most likely wanting to run with the auction. However, there's no harm in presenting a conditional offer prior to the auction. This will give the seller and the agent far better information. If they've got one purchaser, it stops and they negotiate. If you've already submitted a conditional offer, then the owner can decide whether to accept the unconditional bidder or whether they pass it in and look at yours. Of course, if there's no one bidding at the auction, then the agent can submit that offer straight away. Big benefit to yourself. I find that owners are very, very keen and willing to sell on auction day, preferably unconditionally. But however, if there's no one in an unconditional capacity, then the agent will present your offer straight away. The owners are more than willing to look at it, I find, at that time.
Do I need to have insurance when I'm bidding?
So prior to purchase, you'll need, if you are using the bank, you'll need to be having a mortgage sorted out. And a condition of that is that the property is insured. Usually the bank won't be lending against a property that cannot be insured. There's just too much risk. So big key point there, get your mortgage sorted, but also make sure that you are able to obtain insurance for the property.
I've gone to 3 auctions for properties I really wanted, and I've been outbid every time. It's really starting to get me down, and I think I'm a bad bidder. As an auctioneer, what is your main tip for being a better bidder?
Absolutely appreciate the quandary there. It does cost money to do your due diligence. I would maybe look at your expectations. Are the properties that you're buying, are they safely within your budget or are they far in excess? I would always pop around, do the open homes, talk to the agent, ask if they can provide you with a list of recent sales for similar properties in the area. Look at those without the rose-tinted glasses on. The one that you are bidding on, hey, how is it superior or inferior to this one that's sold? Maybe try and find a few that are clearly superior. Maybe they've got an additional bedroom, maybe they've been renovated recently, maybe they were sold during stronger market conditions. If you see those here, that will set a good benchmark, and if that figure is within your budget, then I would go ahead and bid and buy on that particular one.
Hey, it's Karen Atwood here, aka Ryan's Rising Star Award winner 2022, but who's bragging? I just had a question. When is Mark McGoldrick going to feature on Auction TV? Let me know.
Hey, look, great question, Karen. Unfortunately, I can't answer that. Maybe slide into Mark's DMs, though. I'm sure you probably already have. Well, that concludes this episode of Auctions TV. Just a few thanks. I'd like to thank my arms for always being at my side, my legs for supporting me, and my fingers because I can always count on them.